of upper or lower house, I want to say that my experience is that this is it's neither here nor there. It's a matter that you find in very many jurisdictions where there are two houses, and as you know, even when you're campaigning, there's always one person claiming to be better than the other, but the electorate will always make their decision. The roles of each house, in our case, are clearly provided for, so that the issue of which is upper or which is lower shouldn't even arise. It should be who is performing what role. You look, because both houses are parliament in terms of Article 93. The legislative process is clearly provided for in Article 94. Then the roles, specific roles of each house provided for in Articles 95 and 96, so that there should be no conflicts, and for me, the issue that was raised about the lower or upper house, I think should not even preoccupy us. If anything, I think it is diversionary. And sometimes we should leave it for people to enjoy. It happens actually even in other jurisdictions. If you go to London, you find about the House of Lords. The popular refrain there is that it is the largest regular gathering of retirees. So these things are always there. These are jokes, but when you check how the two houses operate and relate to one another, there is a lot of difference. So because everybody knows their specific area of operation. With regard to laws, let me say that there have been a few laws that have been part of them annulled, but really the house's function is to make a law. It is the function of the judiciary to interpret, and I think we should not even feel unhappy, because remember, you have played your part. You let the judiciary go and play theirs to do interpretation. The area where there was some little bit of contention was with regard to the application of the provisions of Article 110.3, with regard to, the specific provision is actually quite testing, and I think it's a matter that and I don't want to go into a lot of details because, as you know, there's a matter pending before the Supreme Court, and maybe it would be a bit unfair for me to go into a lot of details. But you just need to look at the specific wording of Article 110, Clause 3, and see it creates there's some gray areas, because it says before any House of Parliament considers any bill, the two speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate shall resolve any question as to whether, one, it's a bill concerning counties, two, if it is, whether it's an ordinary bill or a special bill. So it's a matter that there's been some contention there, because when is a bill considered? Is it when it is published? Is it when it is read for the first time? Or is it when it is coming for second reading during debate? So I think that's a matter that I think it's only fair that we leave that to the judiciary to advise all of us, even though we also have a duty and obligation to interpret the Constitution, but the final arbiter must at all times remain the judiciary. The Honorable Mukami, yes, I agree with you that court fees are quite high, but remember now we are in a free market economy. And I sympathize with the situation whereby many of our people cannot afford the legal fees charged by our lawyers. But also, on the other hand, it is an truism that which we cannot escape, that whatever it is that the Attorney General's office can be given to address this issue, it's only so much. And again, it comes from the National Assembly to decide how much you would want to give to the Office of the Attorney General to pay for this. It's a very, very difficult situation, and particularly in civil matters, it will be so difficult to know, because people will differ about this. Maybe somebody wants to divorce, and they're saying that they are not able to afford the fees to divorce their wives or their husbands. Now, how is the Attorney General going to come to say, to step in to come and pay fees for them? It's one of those things that it's like the chicken and egg situation. One, it's an issue that we sympathize with, that fees are quite high, but inappropriate public interest litigation, as you all know, courts, there are no fees charged. The Honorable Lesunda, Mr. Chairman, has asked a very interesting question.